two monster franchises raised us. One still treats me like I'm 5. The other one lets me mess up, learn, and bond. And even lets me share some tears. Tonight, why Pokemon simply wore me out and why Digimon, yes Digimon, feels like the adult in the room. Hello everybody, who am I? My name is Adus here, and usually I do talks, reaction streams, a whole bunch of let's plays, and today is a different kind of video. Then use that to explain exactly why Pokemon simply doesn't feel right anymore and why I am Team Digimon. Not only this year, but or maybe always. Pokemon started as a collecting dream. Linkables, traders, badges. That loop made childhood feel endless, beautiful. I can remember back then, we used to play with our little Game Boys. I think I even have my Game Boy somewhere here with a yellow edition where we used to trade and fight with our trained Pokemons. And that was truly beautiful. But Digimon started a bit later, basically as a Tamagotchi with a battling option and some real consequences. When you messed up, your Digimon devolved or even pooped itself to death. That cause and effect has been Digimon's spine ever since. And seriously, I learned responsibility from a pixel gremlin faster than from any school assignment. The animes. Pokemon's show was basically every time the same thing. As long as Ash was still around. Collect your badges, train some new Pokemon, battle the leaders and then the top 4. And everything happened with a big heart and a very big portion of persistence. Digimon was a bit different. If I remember the first 3 seasons, they started basically as a summer vacation camp and got really dark and very deep very, very fast. I am an absolute sucker for stories where a partner isn't just a tool, it's a character on their own. If we go back to the games, I remember Generation 1 was like the foundation of the Pokemon dream. And after that, every generation, like Day, Night, Breeding, Steel, Dark with Generation 2, Generation 3 and 4 brought then abilities, natures, physical, special splits, huge factor for the battling meta. Gen 5 tried a bold new Pokemon only story. Gen 7 did trials and Z moves, and overall the storytelling evolved every time. But something changed when Pokemon switched from handheld consoles like the Game Boy or the Advance or the DS to the Switch. Something happened. I feel like the evolution, or that Pokemon actually cared about their community, something changed, maybe even stopped. Then Legend Arceus shook things up a bit with research-driven catching and overall new gameplay and new approach to the gameplay. And now we have ZA, which brings, of course, the Megas back, but has some, let's call it, tricky parts as well. On the other hand, we have the Digimon games, where every Digimon game I remember that I used to play when I was a bit smaller, from the PS1, Digimon World 1, 3, I left out Digimon World 2, but those games were completely bananas. Digimon World 1 was basically Dark Souls with Digimon, because you could mess up really easily. It was hard, And unfortunately, in Europe, not playable, at least not fully, because there was a bug where you couldn't talk with an NPC that was story important. Digimon World 3 was a beautiful round-based RPG. Then, again, something happened and the games got a bit bad. If I remember Digimon World 4, Digitize, and then it got quiet, at least for me. The next game I played was Digimon Story, Hacker's Memory, and Cyber Sleuth. And those games got released in a time where round-based battle system was actually gone. It wasn't modern anymore. And suddenly there it was, Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, and Hacker's Memory. Beautiful, simple, and I had the feeling it wasn't quite state of the art back then, but nevertheless, I was a huge Digimon fan, and of course I played it. The story was very dark, very complicated, but I loved the principle of like scanning and programming your own Digimon and farming and all that stuff. I loved it. Then came Next Order, which was basically a remodel of Digimon World 1. Loved it. I did a complete playthrough of the game. Paig, hard, but nevertheless beautiful. And then, of course, Digimon Story Time Stranger. Back to turn-based battling, and I have to say that game, I couldn't think of one thing that would make the game better for me. It's just my own personal opinion. This game has everything. A huge leap in evolution, a great story, beautiful graphics. They made actually a real evolution from Next Order and Hacker's Memory to Time Stranger. There was a big step, and that is something I am missing in Pokemon. Digimon's message is consistent, race, bond, branch. If you treat your partner like furniture, the game tells you you mess up. On paper, I'm in real-time positioning. Lumio's density, Mega's returning, in my hands, the tutorials keeps me on a leash way too long. Dear Game Freak, we are a community. We are old. We know how these games work. Please don't treat us like 5-year-olds. Of course, I know Pokemon is trying to target younger groups in order to grow their following, but still, for us old-timers, it feels a bit cheap. And I am not talking about the graphics, the bugs. Simply, it feels like they don't care enough. It feels like they're treating Pokemon like FIFA, slapping every year a new Pokemon game for a full price without any real improvements. Why Digimon wins for me? Again, just my own personal opinion. Digimon for me made sense. It always did make sense. You have datas which can be viruses, vaccines, datas. Data can be changed by the users, basically by us. So every season made sense, more or less. I'm gonna give you that, but there was always an improvement. Of course, as time went by, the budget for the Digimon franchise got less and less, and you could see that, at least from my point of view. But the games, they were never gone. They always tried something new, and I think that Digimon always listened to their community, at least when I'm looking at Time Stranger. Do I need to say more? This year, game-wise, I am definitely Team Digimon. If you love Z2A, I'm happy for you. I don't want to insult you. But for me, it's definitely Digimon. Drop what clicked in the comments. If Time Stranger hooked you, tell me your team and the branch that surprised. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay gorgeous, stay beautiful. Bye bye and toodaloo.